How about a little bit of VIP treatment for the hosts with the most? Jags thanking Episcopal for their hospitality, letting them use their fields, of course, for training camp while the Miller Electric Center is under construction. Nothing like some autographs from QB1 and then some front row seats to all the training camp action. It is back to work for the Jacksonville Jaguars after taking a day off on Friday. Welcome into Action Sports Jags Primetime. I'm Stuart Weber. 5 practices down. How about this? 3 more before the Jags open the preseason in Canton on Thursday night. That is really soon. As for today's work on the practice field, you can really start to feel the intensity building. Maybe it's because the players were fresh after that day off, but how about the return of pads? On Sunday, the Jags go full pads. Saturday, they worked in the upper pads to take a step in that right direction. Shells they call it. The point is we're getting closer and closer to really sorting this roster and seeing who secures some starting spots. Let's take a look at your notebook from Saturday, a light day for the Jaguars' new kicker, Elliott Fry. Team signed him on Friday, releasing Andrew Mevis. Jags have been struggling to find their guy at the kicker position since the departure of Josh Lambo. Could it be Fry? We shall see. Spotlight of the day goes to Benji Franklin, the defensive back, getting a pick 6 during team drills today. Just more proof of how dominant the defense has been the last couple practices at least. And last but not least, what's training camp without a little rookie responsibility? Got to put in your dues, guys. The newbies putting in some time carrying helmets and pads to the bus after practice. Pretty sure Travis Etienne did not have to carry any pads to the bus, but he does have the same number of career games as all of those newest Jaguars. We've yet to see him play in a real game. It's been a lot of fun this training camp to see Trev and Trav reunited. Those two, of course, did some really great things together at Clemson. The hope is we can recreate some of that right here in Duval County.
You know, I honestly think he looks like he's in better shape than I thought he was of our last year at Clemson. I mean, obviously it was great, played great, all that. He was fine, but I think right now, like, his body looks great. I think he's running really well, picking up the offense, done a great job in protections, all those things that we're asking him to do. He's done a great job. You know, when September comes, he's going to be hitting his stride.
And there's video of him literally hitting a stride. How about that? I wouldn't be mad if we just go ahead and take it easy on Etienne over this preseason. Marvin Jones, he's a guy who doesn't mind cameras and microphones. Heck, he tried out for American Idol. He's a go-to guy on the field and for the media as he enters season number 11, that is number 11, in the NFL. He's got a film crew following him around at times, documenting training camp and behind-the-scenes stuff for Instagram. Marvin also making time for us. Action Sports Jags Brent Martineau with the Jags receiver today.
A lot of attention this training camp on the additions to the offense, even a healthy Travis Etienne or Evan Ingram coming in and Christian Kirk. Well, don't forget about the guy who led this team in receiving, the old man of the receiver group. That is Marvin Jones, who, by the way, had a terrific day on Saturday and seemingly was in sync with Trevor Lawrence. Hey, after today's practice, I was wondering if you had one of those like catch bonuses in training camp too, because you got the ball a lot today, man.
You should ask him. I would love that. Yeah, but it's all good. It was a good day. You know, for the most part, it was, you know, still got to go through some kinks, and you know, once you put the pads on, you know, obviously the intensity comes up, and you have to make sure we, you know, stay on course.
Trevor last year, Trevor to this year, you notice different guy. Ball looked the same coming out of his hands. I mean, what's your assessment of 16?
Well, you know, when you have years under your belt, each year you get under your belt, you get more wise. You know, so in terms of decision making and you know, just flow of the game, feel of the game, you know, that always goes up. So you definitely see that.
Do you sense in the locker room out on the practice field you guys are in your kind of like a happy football place again?
Oh, most definitely. You know, it's fun out here. You know, but we know how to go to work and you know, do business as usual. But it's definitely a great vibe.
You feel a hunger after last year from this team, not just you. You know how to do that. You know what that is.
Of course.
But I'm saying guys that felt what they felt a year ago.
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's time for us to turn a new leaf, and everybody's excited to get out there and show what we could do on all as a unit collectively. And you know, there's a seriousness to that. So I think we're ready for that.
I saw you in OTAs. You said, "Hey, I'm the Benjamin Button of the NFL, man." You still got it. You're the old guy, but do you still feel really good, like you got it?
Yeah, I feel amazing. You know, I feel just like I've always felt. So you know, I'm just blessed. You know, I been eating sensu beans. So.
In year 11 for number 11, you can make the case Marvin Jones is the most consistent player the Jaguars have. So in a season full of unknown, they know what they have in Marvin Jones. At Jags training camp, I'm Brent Martineau, Action Sports Jags.
Thank you, Brent. Join Brent and friends for a new look ESPN 690. That's Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. Next week, of course, we'll be live from Canton, Ohio. You can always listen to the show on a podcast version or live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, all the social media channels.
I want to be the best player in the National Football League this year, and I prepare like that, and I'm going to continue to prepare like that. If he wants to.
On Tuesday, Josh Allen claimed he wants to be the best defensive player in the NFL. That's what he's working towards. Today, his defensive coordinator backed up that notion.
It's really, when we first met, he asked me what do I want out of him. I said, you need to be the best in the league. That's the thing. He has a talent. That should be his expectation, nothing less. And he's been working. He's committed to it, and we're just going to continue to push him and let him be the best he can be.
Allen is in a contract year, but the team did pick up his fifth-year option back in May. If Josh Allen is as productive as he thinks he can be, and if Trayvon Walker is as good as many think he can be, Jags might be able to have a little Saxonville 2.0. Action Sports Jags Marcel Robinson is here with more on the pass rushers.
The Jacksonville Jaguars will go as far as the quarterback Trevor Lawrence takes him, but let's not forget about the defense. After all, the other teams, they have pretty good quarterbacks too. Our first position group to watch is going to be the group tasked with getting those opposing signal callers to the ground, the outside linebackers. The Jaguars picked up Josh Allen's fifth-year option, and he's expected to be a key piece for this pass rushing unit for at least the next couple of years. More importantly, it's time for 41 to take over this year and get paid. 7.5 sacks for Josh last year. Not bad, but definitely not a satisfying year. He's been putting in the work all offseason, and he's got his sights set on the moon, and he's not settling for the stars.
You know what I'm saying? I start that preparation right now is to attack each day and every day and get better each day. You know, I got to rely on my technique every day and really hone in on all those little small details, and then that's what's going to get me. Plus the team around me, man, is just phenomenal. So we all going to be making plays. We all going to be flying around, but it's just one play at a time, and I'm excited to get going.
We put a lot of weight on Josh Allen's shoulders, but he can't do it alone, and the Jaguars, they're well aware of that, and they made a huge investment to find him a tag team partner.
The Jacksonville Jaguars select Trayvon Walker.
Enter Trayvon Walker. The Georgia Bulldog was drafted #1 overall, coming off a national championship winning season. The big man wearing number 44 looks the part early in camp, and he's ready to get his hands on opponents this fall.
I'm very grateful to have Josh. Josh is one of those guys, like, he's still young. He can relate to me. He's been in my shoes, and he's just taught me everything that he knows, and that's a lot of knowledge that I need coming into the league. Especially, like, he's a different type of player, long, agile, fast, and I feel like I'm a similar type player.
That's what we want to hear. Walker is all about handling his business, and he is ready to get his hands dirty as he terrorizes opposing offenses. Of course, these two aren't the only Jags that will be rushing the passer. Still waiting for K'Lavon Chaisson to bloom, and you can bet that Devin Lloyd and the other backers will be pinning their ears back. Between 41 and 44, the front end of the defensive unit should, at the very least, give opposing offenses something to sweat about. In the studio, Marcel Robinson, Action Sports Jags.
Thank you, Marcel. 1st and 10 training camp continues all August long. Next week from Canton as well. 1st and 10 training camp. You can catch it 11:15, CBS 47, Fox 30. That is weeknights for your daily Jaguars training camp coverage. Jacksonville Jaguars with a full week of practices under their belts already, but around the league, teams are still getting things cranked up for the upcoming season. Let's bring in Alivia Tassely. She is here to take us around the league with the big stories in week 1 of training camp in the NFL.
I may not travel as much as Stuart Weber, aka Worldwide Weber. Yeah, that's a thing of his, but there is one trip I love booking. Let's take a trip around the NFL. First destination, a quick trip to Tampa. The Bucs signing 7-time Pro Bowler Julio Jones to a 1-year deal worth up to $8 million. Brady's new weapon joins a deep receiver room with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Russell Gage, a former teammate of Jones from the Atlanta Falcons days. Now, Jones has had a tough season over at the Titans last year. Career low of 31 41 catches, 434 receiving yards, and a mere 1 touchdown. But he also didn't have the GOAT as his quarterback, so this could be a bounce-back year for Julio. Now, from the west coast of Florida to the west coast of America, there's no quarterback competition in Cali. 49ers have entered the Trey Lance era, saying goodbye to Jimmy G. Kyle Shanahan putting all doubt to rest earlier this week, saying this is Trey's team. The decision was made a year ago, and they're sticking to it. With Trey in, Garoppolo plans on heading out. 49ers still working to find a trade partner in hopes of getting Jimmy G a new home as soon as they can. Now, how about a quick check-in on an AFC South arrival, and specifically on local running back and future Hall of Famer Derrick Henry. Titans saying Henry will not play in any preseason games. Henry's coming off a foot injury that cost the running back 9 games last season. With Henry out for the preseason games, Titans plan on doing something a little different with the former Yulee bulldozer. It'll include extra stuff like conditioning during dead periods and working on pass catches with the running backs coach. And last but not least, we can't forget the viral moment of the week. Let's go to Lambeau, and we're going to go double screens for this one, people, because it needs that moment. All right, check it out side by side. You may be thinking, Alivia, you're just playing the same video in both screens. No, I'm not, my friends. You have been fooled. That's right. This is Nicolas Cage in the movie Con Air, and this, my friends, is Aaron Rodgers showing up to training camp. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I just know it's great, and I hope this trend continues. And I don't even know if there's enough cosplays for Nicolas Cage, but I am here for it. And that, my friends, is the check around the NFL. Let's go back to you.
Same guy. Has anyone ever seen Nicolas Cage and Aaron Rodgers in the same place at the same time? We need to look into this. Also, you need to look into following Alivia on Twitter, @Alivia, that's with an A, ASJax. That's where you find her. Go check in. She'll be a big part of our coverage again this upcoming fall.
Action Sports Jax Primetime,
Saturday at 10:30 on Fox 30.